Okay, so we now can render our templates, and there's something that's really cool about them is I can really just copy this over. So homepage will say about page and we'll say contact page. So these are three different views to handle three different pages. Let's go ahead and import these views into our e-commerce URLs. So homepage, about page, and contact page. And I'm going to copy this URL pattern and paste it 2 more times. Put about, put contact. And really, I can just add in about slash here and contact slash here. And that changes my URL. So we save it. I go into my project, go into about, and go into contact. Notice these pages are working. If I go to ABC, page doesn't work. Okay, so how do we actually change the data that's on here? Well, the real simple way to do it is something called context, or the template context. So that is, we can pass something to our template here, and that thing that we can pass is this dictionary. It's a Python dictionary, so it's basically some extra data that we can add into our HTML document. Let's see what I mean. So I'm going to make a new Python variable called context, and I'm going to give it a key value of title, and I'll just say hello world, exclamation mark. So I now have this context with this title of hello world. I'm going to come in here and paste it in. Okay. So now back into our homepage.html, I'm going to add in that title. So I'll just put in H1 above it, and I'll say title. So this name right here is arbitrary. I made it up right here. This is the actual name for it. It has nothing to do with the value. It has everything to do with that context key, also known as a context variable. So we save that and we refresh in here. What do you know? Hello world. Hello world, we are working. If I go to a different page, like /about, that actual context goes away, right? Why is that? Well, it's not actually on that page, right? So I don't actually have any context in here. It's empty. So I can add some more context in. So we'll just say about, and we'll say about page, and we'll say, not about, but rather title. Keep the context variable the same, or the key the same. And then finally, we will have contact. We save that, refresh in here. And of course, I want to make sure that I change this part as well. So context and context. So we refresh in here. We've got our about page. We've got our contact page. And we have our home page. Cool. So if you know HTML and CSS, you could actually just use this one single page over and over to change some of the data. So one of the things you might change is maybe just in here and just say div class container. Just follow along with me for now, even if you don't understand it. And div class row. And then finally div class column, or COL. And then in here, I'll just put in something called content. So that's the actual content that I'll be using. And I just used a context variable, but I didn't actually set it inside of any of my views. So I'm going to just put it in content. Welcome to the home page. Make sure that's a string, so add quotes around it. And we can do that same idea here and here. Welcome to the contact page. Welcome to the about page, right? Actually, one more thing we'd probably want to do is put this into a p tag, because it's a paragraph. So we save that, refresh, and there we go. So we're having some more data actually show up. So now is a good time to pause this and play around with it. Make a bunch of pages. I mean, that at its core is a website, right? We've created a more powerful website than most other websites are, just by using some basic stuff with Django. So if I go to about, it now has an about page, and you can have all of your own HTML and CSS in there, and it will work. Now, of course, things get a lot better with Django than just this, but you could totally use this to replace a lot of those more static websites if you're coming from that website design background. If you're not, no worries. I think you'll really still appreciate how powerful Django is going forward with what's coming next. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.